welcome to Neuvias. My name is Carol. This is Marge.
Hi.
And today, conversation is, which I kind of already goofed, but it's okay. This is Conversations with Neuvias to start off with. But today's topic is going to be about awakenings. Yay!
Yay. Yeah, it's a confusing topic for a bunch of people, so I think it's a good thing that we cover it.
Absolutely, yes. No, it's a moment of realization, enlightenment, profound skills in consciousness,
Mhm.
and it can completely go on and on. Some people don't even know sometimes that they're having a spiritual awakening.
That's true.
So
That's
yeah,
true. They just all of a sudden realize what's going on with me or start noticing things that are going on around them in a
yeah.
little different way, like synchronicities that are happening. I thought about that 5 minutes ago. Why am I seeing it? Just haven't thought about that in ages. Or, realizing when you pick up the phone that you were just thinking about the person that's calling you, and those kinds of things that start happening more and more.
Yes.
So,
Connection to consciousness is
yes,
what it should be called. But
true.
today I actually pulled out two decks because that's what called to me. So we're working with today Whispers of the Ocean and, of course, manifesting your soulmate cards. But I just thought,
Nice.
yeah, this is a beautiful deck. This deck is actually by Angela Hartfield. Tons of kudos. The illustration on it is just simply gorgeous. And if you're an ocean fanatic like me, beautiful deck to pick up and definitely take a look at it.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that one before.
Now, this one I rarely pull it out because it's fairly new in my along with all my other decks, and so. But today it was calling me like, "Hey, how about me today?" So
Yeah.
yeah, let's see what it has to say. Like I said, today's topic we are talking about awakenings, and so we got mutually beneficial venture. So I'll show you the card. It's the little,
It's clownfish.
yeah, the clownfish, kind of like
Yeah.
from the movie
Yeah.
cartoon. And this card says there's an extraordinary connection at the forefront of your life at this moment. Utilize the relationship to benefit everyone concerned. So, um, having with that being said, it could also mean like an emotional awareness. It's going to benefit all of us as well in the long run. If you look, it's a family of clownfish there.
Yeah.
Excuse me. It's can also mean like it's in tune with one's emotional that to help others as well. So, but yeah, there is definitely also an adventure coming through for those of you um, that may be awakening. Something might kind of come in all of a sudden, and you're like, "Wait a minute, where is this coming from?" And so you just never know
Right.
how awakenings happen.
Yeah. It's usually a surprise. You don't feel it coming.
No.
All of a sudden, it's like things are shaking up in your life, and like, what's going on?
Yes. And there's also, as you are awakening, I'm not going to sit here and tell you it is a bed of roses because it surely isn't. But there are different connections. Sometimes people who you've known for years and years will just linger off because you don't really mesh with their energy anymore because of your
Yeah.
shifting and your awakening. And then you'll start being introduced to new people to help you evolve in your awakening.
Yeah, there are a lot of challenges that can come along with it. That people talk about the dark night of the soul, and it's really just dealing with some past emotional things that you haven't dealt with, and that can come up. Or, like you said, people falling out of your life. You'll also find habits that are not serving you anymore will drop away, or even things that you enjoy doing. Maybe you don't enjoy them as much anymore.
Oh
So,
yeah.
if you love to go out dancing every Saturday and Sunday, or Friday and Saturday, whatever you do, maybe that crowd is not the crowd you want to be around as much anymore.
Yeah. No, I know when I started having my spiritual awakening, people who I've known over my years, it just kind of slowly, drifted off. And of course, everybody also does their own journey, but at the same token, you start meeting like-minded people and you're like, oh, stuff that I really am starting to get, involved with and learn and grow. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, this one here, unlike these relationships, so there is also a new relationship coming around. So as you are also awakening, so like I said, the old kind of fades out of your life to bring in some new energy
Making
for you.
space.
Absolutely. What a
Yep.
beautiful card.
That is. I like
Yeah.
that it's a community too. It's not only a family, but
Yeah.
the anemone, they've got a symbiotic relationship between the sea anemone and the clownfish. So they work together.
Oh yeah, they do, and they take, clownfish take care of each other's babies.
Yeah.
Or they
That's
support
pretty
each
neat.
other. Yeah, I know I used to have some, but they're so cute, anyways. But yeah, so just remember, as you are doing your personal transformation, you will start to realize that, as Mark said, some stuff that you thought you so cared about so much starts drifting away, and you start going into something entirely different.
Yep. And you find naturally, not just in maturing in your normal 3D life, that makes changes in your life as it goes along, but then you'll have these little leaps with the awakenings. Now, to me, some people talk about awakening as a destination, and it's just part of the journey of your soul evolving. And so, you know, there there have been very few fully awakened individuals on the
Yes,
planet. And
it's
chances
fun.
are, if you're listening to us, you're not fully awakened on your path, though, on the path.
Yes. Yeah. And also, I was going to add to that too, Marge. I know this is like when you're on your 3D dimensional and then you go into your 5D dimensional, um, you think like, oh my God, I'm now in this fifth dimensional and, everything's different and stuff. And
Right.
you still need your three-dimensional in there just to navigate through the basics.
Yeah, I think that's one of the balances that we can struggle with. Because
Yeah.
sometimes when people have an awakening, depending on what level you're at or where you're at the time, because it's not really levels, it's a progression through your life, you'll find that you don't really care about the earthly things at all for a while. And it's like, yeah, I don't need a job. Yeah, I don't need to brush my teeth. Yeah, who cares? I just want to meditate. That's all you want to do. And sometimes that happens.
Yes. But yes, sometimes you can't live in those pipe dreams too long, though. I mean,
Yeah,
it's nice to live in cloud nine, but sometimes you have to come back to down to reality because, even though you're awakening, you're still living and having to do, the basics to survive and all that good
yeah,
stuff as well.
yeah. I think that's one of the, like I said, the balance challenges for people, balancing their spiritual life with their physical needs can be
Yes,
challenging.
yes. Trust me, it is.
I
Um,
remember driving down the road one day and having a chat with my spirit. And I says, well, if nothing matters, I mean, nothing matters. And he's like, yeah, nothing matters. And I'm like, yeah, in the big scheme of thing, I see that. But
right.
in my own little world, it matters that my daughter's taken care of, that my house is cleaned,
Yeah.
at least to a point. It's not pristine by any means. But there's things that you have to do, pay your bills and stuff like that to be part of a society.
No, I agree. Yes, you're going to have that turning point in your life, but yeah, you still have, you'll have a new perspective on the way you do things on your day to day versus how you used to do them in that old routine.
Right,
So
right. Instead of just running like a robot, now you're using your spirit's nudgings and flow and intuition to make some of your decisions as opposed to just doing what you've been programmed to do or what you've been told to
absolutely.
do.
No, I completely agree because that having that said too, your priorities start to change.
Right.
You might always take one way to go to work, and all of a sudden you're like, no, I'm going to try this way now. And so it's just simple things like that start even change of music. I know in my awakening, I'm sure everybody's the change of music changes as well. Just in your appearance, your looks change. It's just like creating a whole new you.
Yeah. Yep. That's true. A lot of the behaviors that I did way back when, I just can't even imagine doing them now. Going out and getting drunk, that's not something I'm interested in. You know, that my 20s, been there, done that. It's over. I'm not
Yes.
interested in it. You
Yeah,
know,
no, you learn from those experiences. I would think people
that's
would learn from those experiences.
right, right. And that probably has something to do with maturity and spiritual awakening because it really doesn't interest me, you
Yeah.
know, going out dancing, and I love dancing, but I don't go to clubs to dance.
Oh yeah. No, nowadays you can just dance in your living room, and your yard, and it's okay. Who cares,
Yep.
So yeah, it's just about those life changes, your relationships changes,
Yeah.
work changes. So it's just, yeah, a lot of new changes that come
Yeah.
forefront when we're awakening as well.
Yeah. Because your perspective and what you're looking for and what you're looking at change
Hmm.
as your awakenings take place. It's layers and layers and layers of different changes happening in your perception of things.
And yes, it's like ogres are layers. You know how they say that ogres are layers.
Yeah.
So it's basically peeling that onion away,
Right.
and you're opening different layers of a new you and a better you. To be honest with you,
Yeah. A much calmer, peaceful, joyful you.
yes. And things that you once thought mattered no longer matter. Like you don't make a big ordeal of something that used to frustrate you so much. Now you're like, it's okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Not that important.
No, no, not at all. So okay, well let's pull out another card. We're using the manifest the soulmate, but even though it says manifest soulmate, it doesn't specifically have to specify for that. Since, like I said, once again, we are talking about awakening. So if you are just joining us, thank you. So I pulled this deck because that's what Spirit said, and so that's what I'm going
That's what you
with.
do. Follow this and follow the nudge.
So it says, start reclaiming who you truly are.
Yep. Oh,
Yeah.
I like that's pretty.
Yeah, that's why I said, so um, since we are talking about awakenings, reclaiming who you truly are. So maybe, when you are awakening, you're starting to realize the true version of who you truly are when you may have first came into this, I guess, soul or something like that. So,
Yeah.
and now you're starting to sprout out like everything you feel like you may have taken for granted. It's like, okay, it's no longer serving my purpose anymore, and it's okay. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
about, yeah, finding that true essence of who you truly are as a person, and growing, learning, and truly evolving in this world. So
Hmm.
what do you think, Marge?
Yeah, yeah, well, you were saying that I was thinking about when I do when I first started my journaling path, it was
Hmm.
like I went back and looked at my life as a young child before 7 to see what I was passionate about, what I loved, and all that stuff. And it kind of led me to that's something I've done my whole adult life too. I loved organizing things and I loved teaching people, and I loved being happy. I've always been one of those people that was optimistic to a fault. People in the school didn't like it. I was too optimistic. But but being joyful, that's the real me.
Yeah.
And being helpful is the real me. And so but all through from the time I was in school to when I finally started journaling a while back,
Mhm.
I was doing the program. I did everything that I had to do in school to make my parents and my teachers happy. And then I did everything at work to make the boss happy and make sure that I was getting paid and just doing all those physical things.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of them were not me. I couldn't be me because it was like too happy. They didn't like it. Actually, I still did it. I still did it because I actually made a sign at one of my jobs. I was like 20, and I made a sign, no laughing. And I would hold it up when the girls would laugh because they used to say, "Would you stop laughing so much?" And I say, "No laughing, no laughing. You're
Oh my
having too much
gosh.
fun."
Yeah. That's funny that you say that because I know sometimes I'll be joking with my staff at work and I'll start laughing loud and they're laughing loud and I have to remind myself, oh yeah, we're in an environment. Shh, shh, shh.
Yeah, yeah. Nothing wrong with spreading some joy.
Yeah, no, for sure. But it's just
Like,
little piece like that that just, it makes
yeah,
you feel good also. So,
yeah,
um, we're often marked by a sense of uniqueness too. And so, that's kind of your uniqueness. You're always laughing and stuff. So,
right.
yeah, so that's
Yeah,
another part of our awakening journey. But this card coming out, I mean, just it's saying to reclaim that true essence of who you truly are instead of always, as like Marge saying, hiding and hiding because you're
yeah,
not being true to who you truly are.
right. And society sometimes demands that we suppress parts of ourselves,
Yes.
and depending on your environment and actually it's probably every environment. So I can only relate to my environment, but I know that with my parents and my family and my church and
Mhm.
there were parts of me I had to keep quiet. It's like you don't share that with other people because they think you're weird or they think you're just too much or
Oh yeah.
you know
Hmm. It's
stuff
like
like
that.
that.
It's like that one song, "Voices Carry." Remember when she sang, "Oh,
Yeah,
voices carry"? Yeah.
right. Yeah.
And
That's
I don't know
that's
why
I
that
haven't thought
just
of that
came to
song in a
me.
long
I'm like,
time.
oh, yeah, yeah. That's such a good song too. But yeah,
It
that's kind of
is.
how it is. But I mean, to be honest with you, we're all unique in our own special ways. It's also about finding your empowerment. Empowering yourself.
Right.
Regardless of others' validation. You don't need
Right.
validation. You need. I think we've had that on a podcast before. Where you need to validate your own self.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's one of the things that you'll find at each awakening
Mhm.
moment, because you'll have them throughout your life, but you'll have a little bit different point of view on external validation and material things. So, I don't need a new car every 5 years or every 3 years or whatever people do. My car right now is a 2007 Ford Focus. Still runs, still gets great gas mileage, not looking as pretty as it did, but I don't need, it's not a, status symbols aren't the same.
Yeah,
Your perspectives and your priorities change so much.
yeah, that's true. And you don't have a $500, car note.
Plus the insurance for it.
Oh my God, yes, no.
Yeah,
It's definitely about cultural consciousness. Is kind of what we're talking about at the moment. So
right,
yeah,
right.
just you're living for you. You're not living for anybody else.
Yeah.
So
And when you do that, you impact other people around you and help them release some of those pressures of
yes.
trying to hold themselves down, hold yourself down.
No, I agree. That's like living in your consciousness is you're living in different what's the word you're doing a personal development, but at the same token, you're doing various things to enlighten yourself. I guess is that kind of what I'm trying
Yeah,
to say.
right.
Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, that's like I said, awakenings happen differently to everybody.
Yeah,
We can't really justify like how your awakening is going to happen or
yeah,
how your awakening may happen. I mean, like you said, everybody's awakening is different.
yeah. And they'd happen over and over and over throughout your life.
Yes.
It's a section at a time, like a rung on the ladder.
Yes. Lots of personal development for sure.
Yes, yes. And opening up to intuition and starting to see signs and synchronicities and recognizing that you've been suppressing yourself. Because a lot of people don't even recognize it because they're just doing what they've been told their whole lives.
Yes. And that's society also adding to that as well. Society is like, you know, at this around when you're at this age, this is what you do. When you're at this age, this is where you need to be. When you're at this age, like no,
Right.
that's no longer the case at all. Especially with we have different generations now. Every generation does everything differently now.
Yes, very differently.
Very differently.
And none of them are right and none of them are wrong.
No, no,
It's and that's one of the things I've, you can't be wrong. It's reminds me of high school. We had an opinion paper. We had to write an opinion about this book that,
yeah,
well, the teacher didn't like my opinion, so she started marking it wrong. I'm like, no, you said it was an opinion, not an evaluation. It's my opinion. It can't be wrong. It's my opinion.
yeah. Hello.
As long as the grammar's right, it's my opinion.
Yeah, it's your altered state of awareness. That's what it was. Dang it.
Right? Gosh darn it. Yep. So do you have people, have you had people at different stages of your awakening process? Have you had people kind of say, "Oh, you're getting weird. You're really changing." And they
Oh
kind of
yeah.
shy away and back away from you?
Yes, I was born and raised Catholic, and so I have those friends that are hardcore Catholics.
Yeah.
And when I started spiritually evolving, spiritually opening myself up to the whole different consciousness and learning and evolving and growing and, just being my authentic self in that unique perspective, all of a sudden my friends are like, you going crazy?
Yeah.
No, that's my, yeah, evolving. That's
Yeah.
my journey. That's how I'm evolving. And it's not, I started getting into the light workers. I started immersing with the star seeds. I wanted to learn, more and more and more. And just, that's kind of how I was growing. And so I took off and I started, like I said, trying to connect with the like-minded people who are also on that same journey and path and wanting to learn and wanting to grow about with all
Right.
that.
And you find yourself drawn to people like that, and they're drawn to you because you're a more vibrational match than the other folks that may not be there
Yes.
or that aren't willing to show that they're there. That's a lot of it too,
Yeah,
because more
no.
people are afraid of being called weird. And so they may have these things that they see or feel or do or know, and they think that doesn't match with my religion, that doesn't match with my family, that doesn't match with my society, so I can't say anything, so I feel weird. But
Yeah.
they don't understand everybody's got these things, whether you recognize that they're happening in your life or not.
Yes. Now,
Acknowledgement.
I will say if you do, and there's one section of Texas called Austin, Texas, if people have been here, and there's a bumper sticker that says "Keep Austin Weird." And let me tell you, everybody is out there just doing their
Doing
own
their thing.
thing.
That's the same here. We've got Keep Asheville Weird. Asheville, before the hurricane, I don't know if it still is, was the craft beer capital of the country, Asheville, North Carolina, where I live.
Yeah.
And there are brewery after brewery after brewery, and all sorts of people downtown. And it's interesting to sit and watch people watch there as opposed to the mall in Illinois where I grew up.
But
Very different.
yeah, it's like fine. I mean, to be honest with you, like Austin to me is like finding my tribe. Like the people
Yeah.
there are just amazing, and they're very enlightened and they're so down to earth. Everyone's like you're evolving like a hippie back in the '60s or however, and it's not even about that. It's just you
Be you.
being you.
You be
Yeah,
you. Yep. Absolutely. It's pretty cool. We have a drum circle here in Asheville on Friday nights, and they only do it in the summertime, of course. So
Yeah.
they just started them back up, and I haven't gone up to one yet, but I'm looking forward to it. I don't have a drum. I'll just go and dance with them.
Oh my
Why
God,
not?
that would be cool because who knows, you might create some rain dance out there. That's what
Yeah.
we used
Oh
to
gosh, we don't
do.
need that, but
We need it here in the state of Texas.
yeah. But
We did,
it's pretty neat to meet people that have got the same mindset as you do. Just go and be free.
yeah, just be free. Let's pull another card, Marge, and see
Yeah.
what Spirit has to say about, since we are on a good topic. Emotional awareness, personal transformationing, beautiful awakenings. This is what I
Yes.
like to stress, can't stress enough about.
And awakenings aren't all butterflies and rainbows.
No.
Like you said at the beginning, they can be quite challenging.
Yeah. It's funny you should say that because the card we got is amble with contentment. I was just like, oh, thank you, Spirit. So it says, waiting rather than acting is going to be most adventurous now.
Oh, I got goosebumps on that one.
Yeah. So it's funny. Yeah. Amble with contentment. Just be content with yourself. Just if you have to, oh, somebody's out there honking, but if you have to just wait to find your right tribe, then let it come to you, or
Yeah.
start putting those feelers out there, like on social media or something. Ask questions. People will answer all over the world.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
um,
amazing.
yeah, Reddit's a good place to also ask questions about just something that you're totally curious about and stuff as well.
That's true.
But yeah, well, I would say also there's a lot of opportunity and adventures that are coming your way as well as you start to awaken.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's pretty neat.
Yeah. Amble with contentment.
That's pretty cool.
I know. You're like talking about that. I was like, oh yeah, here it comes. More in tune with your emotions and stuff like that, and just going with what vibes with you now.
Yeah. Yeah, just follow the flow. I've started calling recently spiritual nudges because it's not like you're being led by the nose. Like some people say I'm being led to this, and
Yeah.
and sometimes that makes me feel like they're being, pulled in a direction forcibly. And no, it's more like somebody tapping you on the shoulder saying, "Hey, go that way. Nice and quiet. Try it this way. Try
Hmm.
it that way," as opposed to a more forceful tone.
Yes. That's
Although if you ignore them too much, you will get that forceful two by four,
oh
what I
yeah.
call the two by four.
Yes. Yeah, because that's one thing about awakening. If you think you're gonna try to avoid it, try to guess again because something will hit you, like Marge said with the 2x4, to make you realize that this is
Yeah,
where
it's
you need
really
to be
important for
moving
you.
forward. Absolutely, especially with your journey and stuff. So it's like a quick realization, like, why is this happening? Oh my gosh, everything's
Right?
going south or something. It's just enlightenment that's gonna find you, pretty
Yeah.
much,
Yep.
whether you want it to or not.
It's that unity consciousness that
Mhm.
and because there are so many people awakening at this time, it's speeding up because the vibration of the planet's getting higher.
Yes.
And so the whole universe is getting higher. So everybody's being affected, whether they like it or not. And
Yes.
and it may be very uncomfortable for some. And if you just kind of follow it, the nudgings, it'll be a lot easier for you.
Mhm. Yes.
It made me think when I was saying that, I used to watch Star Trek, and I think it was Star Trek. Then they had the Borg. You
Yeah.
remember the Borg? When they
Yeah.
were a one mind, it was a hive minded thing. And they say, resistance is futile. You're not resisting an awakening. If it's coming, it's coming. It's part of your path. It's important for your growth.
Mhm.
and it will bring you to a happier, more joyful, calm place. And
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
quicker you accept that, the quicker you get to that peaceful place and process some of the darker stuff that might be trying to hold you back.
Yeah. The traumatic stuff. Yeah, no, I agree. I just, I know it's like getting the tower deck, and I think we talked about this the other day, that getting the tower deck in your field of your awakening, because, to me, the tower is called the house of God. And so, anyway, the tower can be very destructive. People might look at that card because it's people actually falling off a tower, and like, oh my God, there's so much destruction and this car looks bad. And actually, no, it's just, it's time to awaken. It's an awakening. And if you can't seem to want to go there, spirit will help you go there.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true.
So they will push you in those waters to make you swim for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's for your betterment.
Hmm. Yeah. And it's funny, since once you do start to awaken, you'll realize, like, okay, now I see why I went through this and this, and to evolve and grow from to expand your consciousness.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, you look back on your life at this point in my life, I look back at things that happened when I was a teenager or in my 20s or in my 30s or in my 40s, and it's like, wow, wow, all those things were so wonderful in the end. At the
Hmm.
time, not so much.
Oh, yeah.
But but the things I learned from them, the perspective that I gained, it was just it's phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
What a
Lots of,
blessing.
like you said, personal development. I know I'm the same way, because coming from the generation that we've been at to the generation that I see now, it's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a totally different perspective for sure.
It is.
But all right, well, let's pull another card and see, since we are on a roll today with Spirit giving us some good.
Sounds good.
Oh, you gotta love this.
The synchronicity is amazing.
These cards are just, and I'm shuffling, so I'm not pulling like I'm pulling. No, I am solely shuffling these bad boys to see what lingers out here. But it says you want a person who comes into your life by accident but stays on purpose.
Oh, I like that.
Yes. So
That's the new people coming in as you move from one portion of your life to the next portion of your
yeah,
life.
because look at the colors. You've got
And
from blue to reds, and so the
yeah,
shifting. It's a shifting of energies as well.
yeah,
So yeah, and
that's really neat.
yeah, you want a person who comes into your life by accident, not, but stays on purpose.
I like it.
Yeah, like seriously. And that's why we're saying here, as you are awakening, you will meet people by accident. You might think,
Yeah,
wait a minute here, what's going on? And then who knows, there's a true connection there that y'all are here to grow and evolve, and your consciousness connect, and it continues to go forward. And
right.
yeah, you continue to evolve a lot more.
That's true.
Yeah.
And it's funny, they say by accident. It's by accident as far as you're concerned.
Uh-huh.
Universe has got things all they put things in place that are good for you for now.
Yes.
And everything's for a season. Everything's for a season.
Yes.
Even if it's the season that's till the end of your life, it's still part of your, a season for your spirit. And so it's 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 interesting when you think about the biblical part of that phrase. To everything there's a season, because it's so true.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I was gonna say, I know there's a saying that has that in there. I just don't remember for what exactly the saying is for that season thing, but I have heard that before.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so, but
There's even a song about it.
is there a song about it?
Hmm.
I'm like, is there a song about it? Yeah, I'm pretty sure there is. I just can't think of.
To everything turn, turn, turn.
Oh,
There is a season, turn, turn, return, and a time for every purpose under heaven.
That's true.
Yep.
I should know that song. Hello.
Yeah. It just slipped your mind. It's okay.
Yeah,
I've
I
got
was
a
like, wait a
jukebox
minute,
up
I
here,
should.
remember?
Yeah, I was like, I should know that dang song. No, but yeah, that's true. That's true. Um, yeah. So, like I said, with this card, it's just letting you know that yeah, there's going to be some new energy coming in your sector, and it's okay for you to be like, what what is going on? Is this
Yeah.
right, or what's happening, or getting hit on the head, with a 2x4, like Marge said earlier.
Right.
These people are here to teach you, and just like you're there to teach them.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's all about just evolving. Like I said, I cannot stress evolving
Yeah.
together.
It could be when you get to one of those moments, it could be disorienting and you can kind of lose yourself, your identity a little bit
Hmm.
because you are changing. We all change,
Oh
but
yeah.
with an awakening, it's a little more drastic than like aging. It's more like a jump.
Yeah.
My dad used to drive us to my grandmother's house when I was little. And there was this one road he would go on. And if he went the right speed, your car would kind of leave the ground just for
Yeah.
a little bit. He called them dipsy doodles. I don't know why he called them that. But but we'd be driving and all of a sudden it's like whoosh, whoosh. And it didn't happen a lot. It was just every once in a while you had no idea when it was going to happen. And that's kind of what awakening looks like to me.
Yeah.
Because you're going along, well, boom. Here, that was changed. That was weird.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's a shifter state of or from conscious or from ignorance to where
Yeah.
you're like, okay, your eyes are much open and you
More
realize,
aware.
why things are the way they are and things that are connected the way they are and so forth.
Yeah. Yep.
That's
It's
very,
cool.
yeah, it is. I mean, like you said, we can sit here and talk about awakening all day, but it's definitely not a bed of roses. Yes, you're gonna have a few bumps in there as well, and you're gonna wonder why, everything's just not working in your favor.
Yep.
But it's your consciousness opening so you can grow and evolve. And
Hmm.
I know it's like I said, you think, okay, now that I'm awakened, now my life's just, you know, in
Yeah.
ecstasy, and it's
Dancing
okay.
through a meadow like Snow White.
Yes. Yeah, you're floating and you're just like, oh, okay, life is
Yeah,
great. Trust me, life is great when
it
you start
is.
to let go of things that no longer serve your purpose.
Yep.
Absolutely, you're gonna be in cloud seven, but I keep saying,
But there are still shakeups.
but
It
yeah,
happens.
there's still few little bumps along the way, and it's just a part of your growing,
Yeah.
and learning curves. Is I
Well,
like,
life would be really, really, really boring if everything was smooth all the time.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
those challenges are here for us. They're not happening to us,
yes,
right?
yes. They're not happening for us on purpose.
Right.
Into the card, but
Yeah.
by accident, but not on
Hmm.
purpose.
Right. Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, that's true. So, um, I'll tell you what, we will pull one more deck. Sorry, one more card before we close it out, Marge.
Sounds good.
And we'll see what Spirit has to end our note on. Let's see. We'll
Awesome.
try this. We'll try the Whispers of the Ocean because the deck is just like I said, is so
That
cool.
deck is so beautiful. I love those pictures.
Yeah, the colors, just the artwork is just exquisite. So very, very, very beautiful, and it's connecting with what we're talking about too. But anyway, for those of you who are watching our channel, we'd love to have you come down and join us as well too on our Neuvias.com. We've got some cool stuff on there. Y'all should definitely check us out.
Growing all the time.
Yes, we have some fun merch on there now, and I love it. So, okay, where you need to be is the card.
Oh,
I don't
pretty.
remember exactly what kind of.
Is that a dragonfish?
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. I'm not for sure
Mhm.
what they were called, but it says acknowledge how you are feeling. Have faith. The universe will take care of current concerns by by providing the best possible outcome for all involved. Yeah.
They always know how to end it.
Where you need to be. Yes, where you need to be.
Yeah.
I mean, what more could you want from spirit? Like, they're telling you it's okay, you are where you need to be at this
Yep.
very moment. And as you are awakening and stuff, you'll have your learning curves and stuff, but acknowledge how you're feeling with what you are dealing with in those moments too.
Mm-hmm.
Is this serving my purpose? Is this making me feel happy and stuff? So just kind
Yeah.
of listen to your intuition, because that never steers anybody wrong.
No.
you know
No.
but yeah. Did you?
I almost said that's another podcast. That's another podcast we need to have about trusting your intuition. We'll do that someday.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, it's just saying that's what this beautiful card is saying. Care, have faith in the universe. We cannot express that enough. That's why
Yeah,
we are here as newbies. Have faith in the universe.
absolutely. Yes, indeed.
Yes. Did you have anything to add, Mark, before we close out?
How could you add anything to that? It was a beautiful conversation.
Yes.
I
Another thing.
appreciate you and your guides, and the cards that you pull are always perfect. Always. They're
Always.
wonderful. Thank you so much, Carol.
You're so welcome. We hope you enjoy this lovely podcast again here at Conversations with Nubius.
Yeah.
And like I said, come check us out, join our community, check our new merch out. And yeah,
Yeah. Like and subscribe to the
like,
YouTube channel so you can see our next videos as they come out.
absolutely. We will talk to you next time. Have a lovely evening, morning, or wherever you may be in this world.
Thank you. Love
Thank
you.
you. Love you. Bye
Bye.
bye.